بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Dear brothers and sisters, what I want to do before we start the program, I just want to give you a rundown of what the balance of our program entails, inshallah. What we have in the first part of our program, we have a workshop that we're going to be basically debating a topic that I'm going to describe to you very soon. And then subsequent to the workshop, inshallah, we'll go right to Isha prayers, and once we go over Isha prayers and come back, we'll have another address by one of our keynote speakers. And then pursuant to that, we'll have another distinguished speaker that's going to be speaking to us as well, and that'll take us to the conclusion of our program tonight until tomorrow, inshallah. So that's the program. The format of the workshop is going to be such that we have two very distinguished guests that are going to be talking about I guess the parent-child conflict, debating the role of parents and children. And you're going to have an opportunity to ask questions, inshallah, once the discussion begins. And the rule of the questions will be that whenever you're ready to ask a question, you're going to have to raise your hand. Inshallah, one of us will come to you. We'll give you an opportunity to ask your question, and hopefully you'll have the opportunity to have your question answered, inshallah. So before I take any more time, I'm going to introduce our honored guests. We're definitely we've been grateful. We have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the opportunity to have such distinguished guests amongst us tonight. And I'd like to thank them in advance for taking the time from their very busy schedule to be part of this program. Our first distinguished guest is none other than Dr. Bilal. I think many of you are very, very familiar with him. He's a renowned speaker, I guess, in Toronto, and many of us have heard him before. And he's a very dynamic speaker and a very, very helpful and very, obviously, a contributing member of our Ummah here in Toronto. For those of you who are not very familiar with Dr. Phillips, he was born in Jamaica and basically grew up in Canada and accepted Islam in 1972. He's got his master's degree from Islamic theology in 1985 at the University of Riyadh, and he completed his PhD in Islamic theology in the Department of Islamic Studies at the University of Wales. And also Dr. Bilal, obviously Dr. Bilal Phillips is the founder of the online Islamic University, which is the first accredited Islamic university on the internet. And mashallah, he's been doing a lot of great work through the online university. So I'd like to ask him to come to the podium, Brother Dr. Bilal Phillips. And our second brother who's going to be joining him is also a renowned contributor to our society here in Canada, in Toronto in particular. And it's Brother Isa Igal, who is an accredited psychotherapist with over 15 years of clinical therapy experience. So inshallah, you'll have a lot to say, and inshallah, if you have any questions, obviously, to basically point to him, I'm sure you'll all benefit from those questions and answers. So don't be shy to raise your hand and ask your questions, inshallah. Brother Isa, if you don't mind. And before I turn the mics over to our distinguished guests, I'd like to welcome our brothers who come from the masjids that are surrounding us, our friends and brothers and sisters from IMO, from Khalid Masjid, as well as any other masjid that's around us that have come and joined this program. Thank you very much for coming, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, and hopefully you'll benefit from this conference as well. What I'll do is I'll turn the mic over to Dr. Bilal Phillips. He's got a few things to say before we start the format of the workshop, inshallah, and we'll take it from there.